universe isn't just out there, it's interacting with you. Claim your power by embracing the unknown. This is Tracy with Tracy Talks, and I'm here to ignite your curiosity. Don't just listen, embrace it. Where in your life do you just want to be convenienced? I have a situation happening, and I've been considering this situation from every angle that I can. I still haven't come to any resolution. I haven't made a decision. And I find it interesting when I spend time ruminating on something. There are bits of information that just keep coming to the surface. My parents are having their 60th wedding anniversary this year. A milestone that many never make it to. Certainly it is something we're celebrating, and it's something that they want to celebrate with family and friends. It just so happens that the actual anniversary date falls on a Saturday. And when you look at the calendar, it's like this is the actual day 60 years ago that they were exchanging their vows. And how sweet would it be to celebrate on that actual day? And how convenient that it fell on a Saturday when people can travel, they can make arrangements easier, and typically more people can attend. I sent the bat call out to my sisters on the group text. How we thought about planning the anniversary party. I think it's really sweet that it falls on a Saturday. And I have one sister who lives about 3 hours away. And she responded with, well, can we have it the weekend before? There's a home football game on that Saturday. To be fair, I was already expecting this response. To be fair, I kind of set the situation up in this way to see how she was going to respond. On average, she makes the trip back home maybe 3 times a year. And when she does come, most of us accommodate her and her schedule because she does have to travel. And now here I'm faced with working through scheduling a party for my parents. Like this is for my parents for their 60th anniversary. I mean, it's about them. It's about celebrating them. And you're asking the party to be scheduled around a football game so you can stand in an asphalt parking lot and eat hot dogs and take shots. I'm having a difficult time comparing those two events and rectifying why the rest of the family should accommodate you and make things easier for you. To be fair, we have, as a family, been accustomed to making things easy for her. She doesn't want to be inconvenienced. She doesn't want to have to change any of her schedule. But she's not here on a daily basis, inconveniencing herself at all. She's not the one who has changed her nightly routine to go help our parents. And as I've been working through this, I have brought in a whole net of people because I wanted to check myself. Am I being unreasonable here? Seriously, when we're considering an event for our parents like this, shouldn't we make it about them? And you're putting yourself higher on that list. So there's nothing. So basically what you're telling me is if it's not important, if a game is more important then your parents' 60th wedding anniversary, then basically nothing is more important than you going to that game. Because I feel like if we're trying to create a level of importance, I think our parents having a 60th year milestone is kind of at the top of that list. Like, what else is above that? And this whole process has brought me to this point where I'm reflecting, where do we not want to be inconvenienced? We are living in this time where we just do whatever we want. We don't want to be slowed down. Nobody wants to be slowed down the road. I mean, it's horrible if you're going the speed limit now. People are passing you and reckless and they're frustrated. Nobody seems to want to be inconvenienced. And I'm having to look at my own life and try to identify these areas where I am being selfish. The world is not about me. It's not about you. It's about all of us. Like, why do so many people think that they're more important than everybody else? Sacrifice is like a negative word right now. God forbid we can't sacrifice anything. We can't go without anything. We can't give up anything. I can't give up my time. I can't make a sacrifice for you. I mean, these are the things that I'm trying to work through. There comes a point where I realize that I can't work through this by myself. I'm going to have to bring my sister into this conversation. Most of the people in my family will avoid conflict. They would rather give up something, hurt themselves, do something they don't want to do, instead of having a conversation, potentially engaging in a conflict, and then working through it. Like, my sister just shut down on the text. I guess if you have it on that day, we won't come. She basically said if we had the party on that Saturday, her family will not come. There was no, let's talk about this, let's work through this. That's another contributing factor in this whole thing is my family doesn't have the skills to talk through something, to work through something. If we come up against any resistance, we shut down. And part of this frustration is we have, over the years, been considerate and willing to work around her schedule. And my question to her is going to need to be, so nothing is more important to you than a football game. There is a good possibility that we could accommodate them, but something has shifted in me recently, and it's not going to, that accommodation isn't going to come without my expression of the situation, of how your needs are not always the most important. And when we're going to rank this on a scale, a football game isn't comparable to a 60th party. It just feels poignant now that sometimes we see things on this big stage of how selfish people are, and they want what they want, and they don't want anybody else to judge them. They don't want to be inconvenienced. They don't want anybody to tell them that they can't do it. Everybody wants to walk through the world, and they just want to do what they want to do when they want to do it. and how this is actually showing up in my real life. There are times when we can't get away from all of these things that we see, all these irritating things that we see on a big stage. And I try to shut myself from it. I try to limit my exposure on the news. I try to not go to those websites where I'm going to read the news and I'm going to be irritated about how selfish people are. And then it shows up in my own life. So no matter how hard I try to distance myself from it, it's still something that we all have to deal with. Like sometimes you just don't get to do what you want to do. Sometimes you just have to make a sacrifice. Sometimes you have to hear the words no. Sometimes you have to tell yourself no. No, I'm being ridiculous now. No, I shouldn't do that. No, I shouldn't have said that. And maybe that's the biggest irritation here for me is none of us want to say no. We want to buy now. We want to spend now. You only live once. Now is the time. No. No. No, no, no. Practice saying it. Practice. I'm about to be a reality check. But that's okay. That's the role that I have played in my family. I'm irritated by it that people can't self-manage, but that's just how life is sometimes. And the situation is far from being settled. This may be a moment for a reality check that some people weren't expecting. Thank you for listening to this episode of Tracy Talks. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe, and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. Friends can find Tracy Talks available on iTunes, Spotify, Substack, and YouTube. Hit me up on Instagram and Facebook